I'd like to talk a little bit about the history of Texas and Upshur County. The United States Congress declared as a treaty that got Texas to be a state. And it was, they say 1845, that's really not right because it was in December the 22nd. So the first Texas legislature didn't meet till February of 1846. The original Republic of Texas only had 5 counties covering the whole state. So they immediately made 10 new counties. And they were all in East Texas, east of the Trinity River, because that's where 2/3 of the population, the Anglo population, was in Texas at that time. So Upshur County, Texas was created in 1846, and it was named after Abel Packer Upshur and Thomas Gilman. And both of them had recently been killed in the Potomac on a U.S. Navy ship called the Princeton, and a cannon blew up and killed both of them. So the Texas legislature created the names for us. We didn't get to vote. And the first town was met under an oak tree out on an original trail called Cherokee Trace that the Indians moved from. The Cherokees were moved from Alabama to Arkansas, and some of them had moved around to the Nacogdoches area where Sam Houston gave the Indians the land, the free land. So it was along Cherokee Trace that it was first met. They actually never had the town of Gilmer till 1848, wasn't created for 2 years later. And then it had to be 5 miles within the center of the county, so that's when the town was created, and Gilmer was 2 years after the county was created. And so Upshur County, that's how Upshur County got created.
I see. Tell me a little bit about you. What year were you born?
I was born in May the 9th, 1947.
Okay.
And I've lived in Upshur County all my life.
Okay.
I had two brothers. One still living. But I was the kind of brother that they knew was never going to leave Upshur County. My parents took care of both of them while they were all living. And I had great-great-grandparents here. Your kin to the rest of mine on the Mackey side, they fought in the American Revolution in North Carolina, Rutherford County, North Carolina, and migrated to Tennessee, and then came to Texas. And like I say, it was going to be a state in 1845, so they wintered 1845 in Arkansas, and then came to Upshur County in 1846. So our ancestors had been here that long in Texas.
Yeah.
So I'm proud of that.
Yeah.
But let's carry on. Ask me something else.
Let's see.
I'll tell you about Upshur County, 1935. It was a deal to create agriculture in Texas, and every county was supposed to have a festival based on an agriculture product. It was during the Depression. Cotton was selling for 10 cents a pound, and the state of Texas wanted alternate crops. So for some reason, Gilmer picked a sweet potato, commonly called a yam.
Right.
So we have a Yamboree festival that's going it's always the third weekend in October, and it's been going on since 1935.
And is that still a big crop here?
No.
No.
The A&M even put up an agriculture experiment station, and on the land where the airport is now was state land, and finally they gave it back to the county. That's where our little airport is, the Gilmer Airport is.
Okay.
And it was based on the old Yamboree experiment station that the state owned.
Can you talk about the oil boom of in the 20s, was it?
Actually, is it like in 1930?
Okay.
The 30s, early 30s, the famous Dead Joyner story that he's the guy started East Texas oil field.
Daisy Bradford.
Daisy Bradford well number 3 was the one that came in. That was actually south of Gilmer, what's now Gregg County, on the border of Rusk County.
Yes.
But
kind of in
the
Kilgore
oil field in Upshur County didn't go with about the bottom third of the county, closer to Gladewater and back then. The East Texas oil field didn't go as far north as all Upshur County. Right now, the biggest thing in Upshur County in the oil and gas industry is natural gas.
Okay.
There's all the wells being drilled now continually are natural gas. The oil was all south of the county. Our Mackey ancestors were in that. They had enough there. In fact, me and your in-laws went last week down look at Cherokee Trace where there's gas wells that they're getting royalty from.
Right. Yeah, they told me. Yeah. So the oil isn't being produced so much anymore here.
No. It's Charles told me that a geology professor at University of Texas told him if you could figure how to get the oil to the salt water in East Texas, that you'd be instantly the richest man, you know, because that's the problem in East Texas. You have to get the oil up through salt water, and salt water disposal is a big problem.
Is that what they call saline domes?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Getting it through the salt
Yeah.
is a big problem.
Hmm.
It got to be involved in the 30s when it was good, because they first started drilling it, they were running it out on the ground in creeks. But now there's still a East Texas saltwater disposal company that's south between Gladewater and Kilgore.
Okay.
So that's the main thing of it.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim.
Okay, I'm glad. I'm sure they're gonna find that interesting.